What's going on, everybody? I figured I'd give a little intro to this this video here because I did a little bit. I didn't really do much off recording, but I did change up like my entire build. Like I just sat there for like 5-10 minutes, just kind of messing with everything and looking at everything and trying to figure out what I wanted to do. As you guys can see, over the last over the last like 5 episodes, I've had like 3 different builds, all in like every 10 levels. I just changed up everything, which is actually something that I really enjoy about last Epoch. You can basically just do whatever the fuck you want, and then just spend a little tiny bit of money and do it all, and like, do whatever you fucking like. It doesn't punish you for experimenting. You know what I mean? So in the beginning, I was kind of doing like I kind of forget, but I was running like twin blades, and I was running dual. I wanted to do like swords and shit like that. So I was running like duelist, and I can actually take a look here. I was going like duelist and like twin blades, and I was running like swords and shit like that. And basically just dual wielding. And then I think like episode 3, maybe like episode 3 or episode 4, I like changed everything. I went back and unspec'd everything and then respec'd everything, and I went into like spears and stuff like that. Like I was rocking a spear because I found this glaive and I thought the glaive was really cool, and I thought it fit the theme of a fucking ninja, and I kind of wanted to play around and see what it was like. But I wasn't really enjoying it. I don't know. I didn't realize that like flurry is cool, but like when you like doing a 3 attack spam and then having it being canceled by moving is really annoying, and I didn't really enjoy that. I was planning on doing flurry and then maybe like making it so I would apply a bunch of ailments to people and stuff like that, like make them bleed and make them poisoned and on fire, and then do more damage per ailment I have on somebody, right? But I just wasn't really enjoying the gameplay all that much. And so I was doing a little experimenting, and I think this is the build that I'm gonna stick with. I haven't unlocked dive bomb, and I don't have my like 5th slot here or whatever, but we basically changed everything up. As you can see, these like 3 level 5s are all new. So what I've decided to do is I unlocked aerial assault, so that kind of changed things, and that's kind of like what made me start to think about what I should do. I unlocked dive bomb at level 35 actually, which is only like 5 levels away, but I have some like catching up that I have to do because I swapped so many things out. I don't really have anything that does a lot of damage at the moment. Like my main damage thing was like puncture, and it was umbral blades, and I don't have either of those right now. So I'm gonna have to lean heavily into like my falconry and just like maybe like go back and get some weight points and stuff like that, because I'm just a retard, and I just like keep passing all the waypoints, and just whenever I'm in an area, if I can't find the waypoint, I'll just leave. Like I just don't care. I just won't find it. So maybe I'll go back and try and find some of the waypoints or something on those lines, just because like half of my abilities are level 5 right now. And the main thing that I like realized was the blast rain. Like I really enjoy explosive traps, and I liked the gameplay with them. I felt like they were really cool, and I felt like they were like not like easy to play, but it felt like I didn't think that explosive traps was going to be more like a grenade, but it really is. Like you could just throw the explosive traps and do whatever. But once I realized that like this little thing right here where you now shoot arrows attached with explosive traps into the air, then drop down around the target location, because I was also trying to figure out what weapon I wanted to use, and I think bow falcon is actually like a pretty sick archetype, and I really enjoy this blast rain thing. And the only problem that I'm having right now is that I don't have, like, it costs mana, right? Like every single time I use the explosive traps, it's using some of my mana, so I don't really have any way to do an attack that doesn't cost mana, right? Does that make sense? So like all of my shit costs mana right now, and I'm pretty sure I can get the explosive traps to not cost any mana through one of these. Cost more mana. That's not what we want. No. So mana cost minus 20%, and mana efficiency plus 8. So 8 times 4, 32. And that's 40. So that's a lot. And I think there's like one more. Like I'm fairly certain I can get it to like almost 0 mana cost. If it costs a little bit, that's okay. I just have to find some way in order to get mana. But I thought there was one more thing. So enemy hit, touch, trap damage. I'm not really sure. We're gonna have to figure it out. I'm gonna like the next 5 points are gonna go into, or like until I get to level 11 or whatever. Yeah, because all of my shit's supposed to be a level 11, but nothing is, and it's gonna be accelerated. So, what is that? Like, it's like 6 points or something. So we'll go like, I don't know, we'll go like 1, 1, and then probably just max these out. I'll max this one out and get this one. All the rest will just be dumped into here. And after that, I'm not really sure what we want to do. Like, we definitely want to get impact dagger or impact trigger so they explode instantaneously instead of setting traps on the ground. We're also rocking smoke bomb. I really enjoy smoke bomb because it gives us haste, and there was this thing, smoke screen arrow. So while I'm using a bow, I now shoot an arrow that detonates the smoke bomb at the target location, which I think is really interesting because I never really got any of, like, I didn't really understand the idea of having status effects that apply to a smoke bomb, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, I guess if you're running daggers and you pop smoke bomb while you have like an entire, like, you know, if you're surrounded by people, that would be pretty cool. But I always found it like something that you get away from people or something like that. But smoke screen allows you to really use it like aggro, I guess, you know what I mean? Like, you're shooting it at people rather than putting it down on your feet, which I think is really cool mechanic. Especially when it comes to like applying shadow dagger and, you know, shredding the armor and stuff like that. I think it's a pretty cool mechanic. I'm not really sure what we're gonna spec into. I don't really think I want to go shadow daggers because I'm not really leaning heavily into it in any of my other skills here. So I'm not really sure what we're gonna do here either. Initial burst consumed all shadows. No. Maybe we do make it so there's shadows. Isn't that down here? Someone got a chance to create a shadow each second at a random location inside the cloud. Smoke blades doesn't really help us. I don't know. We're gonna have to figure it out. I definitely want to make it so it lasts longer. That would be dope. Increase base critical strike and blind enemies while you were inside the smoke cloud. This isn't really good for us, seeing as how we're gonna be shooting it and we're not gonna be inside of it. While inside the smoke cloud, you leave a target, smoke bomb instead of backflipping away. Don't really care about that. We're just gonna have to figure it out, really. I'm not really sure which way we're gonna go with this, but I'm sure there's some sort of build similar to this. Like, if I find, I'm gonna probably look into some builds and see if I can find any that use these 4 and see what they use as their 5th, because I don't know what I'm gonna be using as my 5th right now. There's a whole bunch of builds on Maxwell and stuff like that, but I'm not really trying to, like, I don't really want to run Ballista Falconer, and I don't really want to do Shadow Daggers either. Now, I just feel like they're a little mainstream for one, and for two, they just don't really, like, I don't know. I like Ballista a lot, but simultaneously, it's like, I don't know. I can't figure out it seems like a lot of Ballista builds have some sort of way of you using aerial assault and then it proccing ballistas somehow, like after you land, like it spawns a ballista or something along those lines, but I don't know how they do it, and I haven't really looked into it all that much, so I'm not really sure what we're gonna have in the 5th slot here. But if I can find something that has like all 4 of these skills and then the 5th, maybe I'll look and see what they kind of spec'd into and see what they were doing. Normally I probably won't copy it like 1 for 1, but I'm definitely like you know, there's definitely people who know a lot about the game, and so I can at least see what they did and take it into consideration when making the decisions that I make with smoke bomb and explosive barrel and stuff like that. But yeah, maybe dive bomb will be our last one. I have it like in 5 levels, so hopefully we get all these level 11 and get dive bomb all at the same time or something along those lines. Obviously I changed a lot about my passive tree as well. We used to spec into these because I was trying to buff spears and stuff, but for the rogue, I just took steady hand for the dexterity, and then I really enjoy evasion and stuff like that and getting haste. When it comes to the rogue, I just think that like we don't really have anything that gives us a lot of HP, and we're kind of soft sometimes, so what makes up for that is the evasion. And we're moving a lot with aerial assault and stuff like that, so it should be pretty nice. I really enjoy these, I think. And then critical position is probably the next thing that we're going to spec into after we're done. Actually, I don't really know when I'm going to be putting points back into rogue because it's already base 20 and I need to obviously get to level 35 so I can get dive bomb, and the falconer is probably what we're going to be investing most of our points into. But for the falconer side, I just went wilderness scout. Obviously these are all just good, right? They're all just solid things. I have falcon and ballista right now. I'm rocking the ballista just because I don't really have anything else to put in that 5th slot, and I don't really care what it is, and I think ballistas is the coolest thing that I could put in there, I guess, you know what I mean? I might switch it out for something else for the time being, if I'm having a lot of trouble like killing a bunch of stuff because I don't have any mana because my explosive traps aren't high enough level yet, maybe we'll substitute like flurry in there, and I'll just rely on flurry to do a little bit of damage while I'm waiting for my CCs and stuff like that. We'll have to see. This gives us dodge rating. This gives us bow damage, falcon damage, and buffs our falcon. Like, this is a really good. Like, tactician is really, really good, I think. Bow damage for ballista is really nice. Throwing damage for falcon is awesome. Melee damage for falcon is also great. Anything that buffs our falcon is really dope. Evasion tactics also is really good because like having more dexterity points like increases everything else, right? I think there's a whole bunch of stuff that like makes it so I have more value out of it per point of dexterity. I forget what it is, but something along those lines. I know this one. Even got some blocking glow. I don't know. I can't find it, but per point of dexterity is really important for us, and if we can get our dex up high, that would be really nice. It's already pretty high. We get plus 12. I don't really know what this is referring to. It says plus 12 dexterity, but it doesn't really seem to be plus 1 falcon melee damage per 4 dexterity. And there's other stuff as well. I just don't know where it is, but dexterity is really important. It says plus 12, but I don't know if it's plus 12. I feel like it was plus 12 in the beginning, and then I like added more, and it didn't move. So I don't know what this is referring to. But yeah, this episode is probably just going to be me playing a lot of catch-up, seeing as how all my skills are level 5. I'm not really sure what I want to go do. I might try and go do some of the main quests and just continue on trying to level up. But if I'm struggling a lot, just because all my stuff is really low level and I don't really have any good synergies going on at the moment, maybe I'll go back and try and get some waypoints or something along those lines. But we're just going to have to find out. But yeah, if you guys know of any builds that use these 5 and kind of have the same idea going, where it's like, you use the explosive traps on a bow, and you're basically just playing heavily into the falcon thing while trying to buff all of your falcon, like falconry, and maybe if I have dive bomb here, I'll be buffing dive bomb. But I guess if we were to run dive bomb as our 5th, it would just be a dive bomb build. I'd probably spec heavily into it. I'm guessing it's probably gonna be pretty good, seeing as how it's the last thing that we unlock. But yeah, we're just going to find out. So I figured I would just give a little intro because I didn't want to go into it just having changed everything off recording. I haven't played at all. I haven't gained any levels or anything. And my gear's basically all the same, except I just had this bow and this quiver, and instead of the spear, I'm rocking the bow and the quiver, obviously. I still have the spear over here, but just not using it. I also changed my idols and stuff like that, so I had a bunch of them that gave me like increased damage while building a bow, increased damage by attack speed when I have a bow attack. I changed the bleed on bow hit, so on and so forth. So put those in there. And I'm still kind of learning about the crafting system and stuff like that, but I'm kind of doing my best. I'm not really sure what I'm doing. But yeah, I think this is the build that's gonna stick. You know what I mean? So I figured I'd give an intro for it. The rest of them are kind of just me experimenting and trying to see what was cool and what felt good. But I think this one is the one that we're gonna just like stick to and level up and try and find good gear for and stuff like that. So I figured I'd kind of give a little explanation. So if you're watching this, hope you enjoyed the episode, and I'll see you then.
Not happening. Say I'll enjoy using it. What we can do is wreck this place before we leave and let Zarek clean the mess. Quickly. On my signal, go to the center of the device and get ready. I'll get us out of here. And that should do it! This waypoint's harder than I anticipated. But no worries. All good now. Just in time. Looks like we've got company. Anyway, off you go. I'll see you on the other side.
Don't be alarmed. The Emperor wants you dead. That makes up. You're trying to reach the Citadel. I know a path, over there. Follow it to the mountains. The roads are dangerous, but there's just enough ground to make it through. Go. Find me in the necropolis. We'll speak. I want to say more, but there are spies everywhere. Just know, I'll try to distract his soldiers, but hopefully, I will see you soon.
Right. I think we're far enough and willing to take her on her word. What I'm not ready for are words alone. I'll use my portals to scout ahead, while you make sure nothing follows us. There should be some aqueducts up ahead. Let's meet there.
Not happening. Not happening.
I owe you my life. Just like that. For one, they nearly tore me apart. Also, my knowledge. Here I was, hoping this would lead us closer. We might have no choice but to share it.
I am Yulia. I understand. In regard, from there, you will find an entrance to the... You are not... The heart of the Citadel is beyond. There is an exit and...
Seriously, before you... I'm too hurt to go after it. When he fled, I saw him heading deeper into the mountains. When you find time, you could take a peek at his nest.